Okay, don't take any of this as gospel because I'm not some kind of pro with Lowain, but I'll briefly cover some crazy gimmicks you can do with this guy. So first off, he's got one of the better standing mediums, or farm mediums I should say, in the game. He's also got a pretty fantastic sweep, and he has a faster backdash speed than I believe anybody else in the entire game. Comboed with his I can gain health meter at random food, he's really good at getting away and getting free resources. He's also got some shenanigans. See how good the sweep is at low profiling, and watch how Belial's standing far heavy cannot reach after a standing medium. Next, going into some basic offense. I mean, baby's first mix-up, right, tick throws. But after a throw mid-screen, you can set down the Catalina tank. The laser does not catch a crouching opponent, but it will catch them if they stand, and it will actually hit them if they try to jump or mash. So, relatively standard mix-up is you throw somebody, you set the tank, you run up, and then you can either do a frame trap or a throw, or you can hope they try to jump away from the incoming frame trap or throw like that, and you get a free combo. Granted, if they just stay crouching, then they're probably fine, which allows them to interrupt you. But at the range that you're putting them after a throw, it's not like that's going to be a particularly threatening interrupt. You can also try to use the missiles like that, but as you saw, the opponent can just super jump out of it and get over your head. The other tool, of course, is sending the boys out to deal with neutral, which is pretty strong because they cover a wide amount of space, but certain moves are able to just stuff both boys. Moving into corner offense, this is where Lowain is really weird, but a lot stronger than you might expect, because he does not have the multiple wall bounce specials that most people have. He pretty much only has the CX slashes, but you can do, as you see here, you know, heavy auto combo into setting the Catalina tank, and it will cover them. And that sets up mix-ups like what you see here, you know, throw versus just going into a frame trap. Standard stuff. You can also send the boys out, which, you know, as you saw, set up the throw here. They can potentially mash your DP out of some of these situations. So it's, you know, a guessing matter. But if they mash and you send out the boys, as you saw there, you got counter hit. The boys do keep coming even if they manage to hit you. And now here, what you're watching is a full loop in which I recorded this and mashed with the dummy the entire time, and the Belial was not able to get out. Now what I'm going to show is that this loop actually kills before you even get to the part where the super comes out, which is, look at this. You can try to mash out, right, but it covers the options really well, so you would basically have to DP there. You can also throw at the exact instant where I set the boys and waited in this loop that I demonstrated. There's I believe what I'm showing right here, sure enough. But the reason you might just set the boys and wait is because you're looking for the DP option. And as I'm showing here, you can cover it by just hitting a button, like if you have enough time. But then if he DPs, you get hit, whereas just waiting, sure, you can get thrown, but you'll bait the DP if he tries it. Next Lowain gimmick is pretty intense. It's his super. He can't combo into it in the corner like a lot of characters can because it's not an actual hit. You can sort of use his follow-ups out of the stance and sometimes get a combo off the hit, but it's not the real way to use it. As you can see, you either do the sweep into the air gun into the follow-up, so, you know, medium to light, or you do the overhead straight into the light, and then you can do half circle forward unique button to end that off. But be aware that that half circle forward unique does end the stance. The reason you do it is to make him less punishable when he recovers. See how it's a little harder to catch him there? Versus if you don't end like that, as you can see, you can't still dodge it if he knows it's coming. But here we're going to go through a full round of, alright, do the whole Lowain thing, get punished by a heavy. So part of the reason you have that half circle forward unique, half circle forward X if you're on PlayStation, is that you're trying not to get hit with a heavy punish and to just die. The next gimmick is obviously Iggy, the super skybound dart. Also not comboable, but even more ridiculous. Invuln startup, and then you do take a little tiny bit of damage if they hit you while you're in this, but you cannot die. You have 4 different moves you can use. You got the ball, the spikes, the lava, and the electricity. But all of them are easy enough to avoid if someone's studied the matchup and is committed. Because of that, most people just go for chip. As you can see here, Belial taking quite a bit of chip damage by just blocking it all. Of course, if they know the matchup, they're probably going to get out of it, but that's usually the play. Now there are setups though that you can use. If you saw, I'm trying to jump out of this and I'm still getting hit by the lava. If you block the ball at this range, the lava is forced. They have to like super jump over the ball and then jump or dodge the lava on the second. Now if you do it close, it only works far away. They have to block the ball far away for the lava to be guaranteed, which is why they're going to try and jump toward you probably. You can try and stop that and force a little chip by when they jump over the ball using the lightning and get a little bit of chip in there. At that point, you're really using this super to just completely escape pressure and reset the game to neutral, but it's a tool. Unfortunately, if they're smart enough to just dodge the ball instead of super jumping over, as you saw, you can completely get out of that. I could have sworn there was a time when you could force the lava to hit if they jumped into the lightning, but that does not seem to work anymore. And as you saw, I just kind of randomly did moves there, and I was able to mash dodge out of all of them. On top of that, Overdrive, where you do not take chip, has made it even harder to win games with Iggy. But it's not completely useless, right? Eventually, sometimes people screw up and take a ton of damage, or you finish them off with just a little bit of chip, because those spikes are really hard to react to, even though they appear somewhat far from Iggy. You've got to practice with it, fine-tune it a bit, and make it work, but it's not useless. Again, you can't die while it's up, that's worth something. If I was a real YouTuber, I'd tell you to not forget to like and subscribe here, but I'm not. I'm just some guy teaching the local scene of a couple trips and tricks. I will say, please go to training mode and please support your locals.